Celtics played the Atlanta Hawks. This game went exactly how I thought it would. This Celtics team is pretty fucking deep, man. I mean, it goes all the way from Marcus Smart, just has his isms where he randomly rises up and gets 36 points. Like,
yes,
randomly, he has some like playoff games where their backs are up against the wall. It's like when Draymond Green in Game 7 of the Finals was ripping threes versus the Cavs. Marcus Smart just has that gene in him. And then Jaylen Brown really trying to prove himself, and he's out there saying like, hey, I averaged 26 points a game this year. I am him. Y'all were saying I'm the next Jimmy Butler. Like, no, I am the next Jaylen Brown right now. I'm Jimmy Butler, but I'm quicker and faster, and I can play defense. Jason Tatum, he can play defense too, averaging 29 points this season, and then he scored the most total points this season. Jason Tatum, he didn't average the most points this season because people like Embiid missed games, but Jason Tatum scored the most total points this season.
That's insane.
Averages 30, and then you have Derek White come in and score 24. Malcolm Brogdon is your other guard running the bench with them, so it's like those are your backup guards to Marcus Smart and Jaylen Brown. They both play defense. They're both not afraid to score, and then Al Horford's just the glue to this team, and every time they need a big game, Al Horford has showed up for this team, especially when they're young and needed a veteran to carry them. And then Al Horford is shooting 47% from 3 this year. I mean, and then Robert Williams comes in. And then, oh yeah, he's a defensive monster, and you can't get to the rim on him, and he can switch on the perimeter. It's like, what does this team not have? It's like a championship.
Yeah, no, seriously. And the thing that's, when I looked back at the box score after watching this game, what stood out to me was less about what these guys who played actually performed, but the players who didn't play. They didn't even play Grant Williams. They didn't even play Peyton Pritchard. They didn't even play Mike Muscala. Like, they have big men who are more than capable of guarding players like Giannis, players like Embiid, players like, hell, I guess, I mean, they're facing the Hawks, so Clint Capella, I guess. But they got players that they didn't even play. They're just waiting for when the playoffs, you know, as people start to deteriorate a little bit, you know, maybe doing more of like a 9-10 man roster, you know?
Yeah.
They didn't even play Grant Williams. Grant Williams had one of the highest shooting percentages in all of the league. And that's just one of the players that they have.
Yeah.
Never mind, like we mentioned, you mentioned Derek White, you mentioned the Malcolm Brogdons of the world, you mentioned the Robert Williams of the world, who's just electric off the bench. And then Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, one of the most electric duos in all of the NBA.
Yeah.
All they missed, they made the finals last year against the Warriors, but they want to win. They want to win it all.
Yeah, they want to win it all this year, and it's like, I think they should do it, but I feel like this is the only team right now in the NBA that has a lineup for every matchup another team will throw at them, because you can go small with this team with Al Horford at the 5, and he can run and guard the perimeter. He can guard players like Giannis, and then you can put Grant Williams at the 5, and Grant Williams is on the bench and he's in a contract year and he's been in his head, but he also rose up and hit 7 threes versus the Milwaukee Bucks in a Game 7 on the road last year.
Yes.
So it's like you have players who can just come off your bench and come alive. So I love to see it with the Boston Celtics in Game 1. I think this is going to be the easiest series with the Sixers and Celtics. Then